welcome to Pricing College with your hosts, Joanna Wells
and Aidan Campbell.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about a concept everybody knows, and it's called a loss leader. So we're going to be talking about what it is, why companies do it, and is it useful in terms of attracting more customers?
Okay, so what is a loss leader? I think any human being who's ever been to a supermarket is probably aware that some shops, some chains, they will do very low pricing on staples. Obviously, in different countries, that staple may be different. It could be milk, it could be bread, it could be a can of beans, a can of peas. Whatever it is, it's that staple that a very large number of the population buy on a very regular basis, and it's a price that they're commonly aware of. I even remember back in Britain years ago when they wanted to prove how out of touch politicians were, they would ask them, how much is the price of milk or a pint of milk? And very often they wouldn't know.
And often these loss leader products, if you're thinking in terms of supermarkets, they can be that sort of private label product in terms of milk, margarine, butter, obviously growing in popularity in supermarkets. So, we're going to just look at, why that is. So one reason would be the assumption that people buy on price. Low price brings and attracts people to the store. Yes, to a certain extent, there are some people that will be attracted to a supermarket or buying these sort of goods because of price.
Certainly, they will shop around. When we say a loss leader, we don't actually know if the shop is really making a loss on every can of beans or every bottle of milk. But what they're doing is they're cutting the price below what they would like to sell it at. If they were only selling that bottle of milk and didn't think they'd sell anything else, they wouldn't do it. But what they're doing is they're selling one item at a loss and hoping and being quite confident that they will make up that profit on the other items that customer buys. The big question is, for a successful loss leader program, once you get them in the store, you need them to buy other items also.
Yeah, and often these loss leaders are designed and produced based on things that people obviously want to buy. And there will be a competitive product at a slightly higher price, which this loss leader is competing with. And that's putting in the mind of the consumer a question, which one should I buy? Should I buy on price? Or the assumption is, should I buy on quality? Now, of course, many of these loss leaders aren't necessarily cheaper or worse than the competitor product. So you ask the question, are loss leaders loss making? Well, initially perhaps, but they've actually recouped their money by optimizing price by across the customer and product life cycle.
I actually don't know the answer to this, but I'm pretty confident that, supermarkets in most countries nowadays, they're getting bigger and bigger. Certainly the out-of-town stores. So once you take the effort to go there, there's a time and effort invested. It's almost like a queuing system in the old Soviet bloc. So you've driven to the car park, you've parked, you've walked into the store, you've availed yourself of the advertised loss-leading bottle of milk for $1 or whatever it is. You would have paid $4 elsewhere. And then when you're there, you think, I might as well get the rest of my groceries or the rest of my items. So you're focusing on that loss leader. There's a psychological aspect to it. But, you're buying those other items, maybe a packet of lollies, a newspaper, whatever it is. And that, you probably still come out of it, maybe a little bit ahead of what you would have done at your local corner store. But the supermarket certainly is, on average, making profits.
Yeah, a loss leader is very similar to like the startup platform Freemium model. It's like, give it a go, try it. It's not going to hurt you. It's low cost. It's not going to really take a big hit on the bank account. And as you do, you try something, you go back if you like it, and then you might buy an extra two things and put that in your basket because you bought a particular product. So here they're thinking not just about one product, they're thinking about frequency, coming back to the store, but they're also thinking about what other things you would buy if you bought that loss leader product.
One thing I think we can all learn from this, obviously we don't all run supermarkets, but sometimes in the pricing community, it's hard to get it across to management why potentially you should make or should consider making a loss on one item, one SKU, if you stock thousands of SKUs. This concept of bundling or baskets, that's or the common shopper and what they will generally buy. That's really a message that I think we can all take away from it. And the supermarket analogy really is a clear, easily understandable example that nearly everybody will get.
Yeah, and I think another key takeaway from this is if you're going to do it, you must make sure you monitor your customers' response to the loss leader. There's no point just like introducing loss leaders if you're not going to track what your customers going to response to the price, response to are they actually going to come back? Are they actually going to put other stuff in their basket? I mean, then that would be unprofitable. So it's understanding your product portfolio and understanding your customer's response to the product and to the price.
And one thing which we'll cover in future episodes is obviously in supermarkets, they're very keen. They're probably some of the earliest adopters of loyalty cards. You scan them, you collect certain points, etc. So generally they know exactly what you're buying, exactly what you're bundling, what you're buying instead of something else. If you're buying a bottle of milk, you're not buying soy milk or almond milk. So there's those sort of that big data that they have also available, and that really can help them track and monitor and really have a good estimate as to the profitability of these projects, of these promotions. Not every business can do that, but we can all move to some extent in that direction.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot for listening. Until next time.
Thanks again. Have a great day.